I have all kinds of fun stuff planned for you one day. Just stick around for a while and I'll think of what that is. In the meantime, here's another story out of, where else? Florida. Deputies look for naked burglar who stole from Little League. This is in Florida. This is from AP, of course, the oddities section, my favorite part of the news these days, simply because I've gotten too involved in politics in the past and everything's going to hell and everything is turning to shit. So as we move forward into the 2020s, let us look for more environmental disaster, more calamities, nuclear war, all kinds of fun stuff, economic deprivation, maybe that too. Anyway, back to the story. Here's a story from Florida. Deputies look for naked burglar who stole from Little League. Authorities in Florida are asking for the public's help in tracking down a man who they say burglarized a Little League concession stand wearing nothing more than a ball cap and gloves. The Pinella County Sheriff's Office says the naked burglar struck the stand at Fisher Field in Dunedin almost 2 weeks ago. Deputies say the burglar stole cameras and a cash box with $250 inside, and he caused $5,000 in damage to boot. Surveillance video obtained by the Tampa Bay Times also show the man taking a package of hot dogs. Okay. How is that relevant? What was he going to do with those hot dogs? This is too sick to even consider. I'm going to move on to the next story because some stories just, I don't know, they're just getting... Okay, here's one from Canada. Kitchener. Now, Kitchener is about 60 miles from here, from the armpit of Canada, London, Ontario. This entire area is known as the armpit, the industrial armpit of Canada. Please don't take offense, anybody that lives in the armpit of Canada. It's, the humidity's coming. It doesn't stop raining. Everything's turning to mud. We're floating away. Anyway, a Kitchener man calls police on himself, charged with drug-impaired driving. This from Global News. Police expect to get calls from witnesses reporting suspected impaired drivers. Dispatchers received a call on Thursday from someone unexpected. The alleged impaired driver himself. Police say they received a call at around 1:40 a.m. from a man advising that he was driving and had consumed cocaine. The man told police he needed to speak with officers and the vehicle was pulled over on Woodlawn Road. Police said their investigation determined the driver was impaired by drugs and he was arrested. Officers also found a small quantity of cocaine. The 30-year-old Kitchener man has been charged with impaired driving and drug possession. He will appear in court in May. So just, I don't know, did he have like a guilty conscience or something? You can't explain it. It's the armpit of Canada area, and this is standard behavior around here. Yeah, well, what else we got? Let's see. Let's head over to stories of Bridezilla. We all have known some bride. This is the ultimate Bridezilla. Outraged bride from the Mirror in England, that bastion of English journalism, that fine publication, The Mirror. Outraged bride calls off wedding as snake friends refuse to pay £1,200 to attend. £1,200. I don't know, that's like about 8,000 Canadian or something. But Susan was all set to marry her long-term boyfriend in a wedding so big that even the Kardashians would be envious. But her dream wedding quickly turned into a nightmare, and the bride-to-be was forced to call things off. Like any true millennial, she decided to share a scathing Facebook post to explain why the wedding had to be canceled. And luckily for us, somebody screenshot the whole thing and shared it on Mumsnet. So, Susan begins her post by apologizing for canceling her wedding at such short notice and admits that she and her partner have broken up due to recent and irreparable problems. She then delves into a full explanation of the situation. How did this all come crashing down? Well, I invite you all on Facebook, players, bystanders, and side characters of the people in my life, to take a seat and listen. Must we? She reveals things were like a fairy tale at first. A beautiful fairy tale. Susan met the love of her life at a tender age of 14. They worked on her family's farm, and with each warm summer spent in the fields, their love grew. At 18, he put a ring on her finger. At 20, they had their first child, of course, and why not? Flash forward a few years, and they're preparing for their dream wedding, having saved up $15,000, around 13,500 pounds, or I don't know, 100,000 Canadian. Anyway, let's see. What did she go? It started out like a fairy tale, but then her friends wouldn't pay the $1,500 to. She thought they were her friends. We made it clear if you couldn't contribute, you weren't invited to our exclusive wedding. It's once in a lifetime party. So they sent out RSVPs, and only 8 people replied. Susan was livid. How is this supposed to happen? For a little help from our friends, and to make matters worse, my ex's family took back their offer of money, and suddenly more people backed out, including the C-word maid of honor, my best friend since childhood, my second family. I was so shocked. In a desperate last attempt, they sent out invites to the wedding a second time and set up a GoFundMe page, but only managed to scrape together another $250. She was losing all hope, especially when her ex-boyfriend offered to skip the big wedding and have a cheap, raggedy, filthy horse ceremony in Vegas. I vote for that. She was outraged. I just wanted to be a Kardashian for a day and live my life like normal. Well, things just kept getting worse for poor Susan. Her partner started gossiping about her with friends. He started staying out late, and she thinks he may have even cheated on her. Okay. Nutty case of Bridezilla there from the Mirror over in England, where the fine journalists cover that sort of thing for your amusement. And I hope you enjoyed that one. Let's move on to something else, shall we? Let's see. Oh, here comes. It would not be a Vegematic show without mentioning one story. Just one story about potatoes. Mississippi neighbors are perplexed by mashed potato mystery from UPI. Residents of a Mississippi neighborhood are trying to get to the bottom of an unusual mystery. Someone has been leaving mashed potatoes in various locations. Neighbors in the Belhaven area of Jackson said they've been finding the plates of mashed potatoes in locations including porches, mailboxes, and on top of vehicles. This neighborhood does a lot of quirky things. We decorate road signs. We put Christmas trees in our potholes, so it's not surprising at all. That's why I love this neighborhood, because they do so many strange things. But this is definitely one of the weirdest things I have seen since living in Jackson, resident Jordan Lewis, who found mashed potatoes on her lawn, told WJTV. Residents said they have yet to uncover the motive behind behind this apparent prank. Some people were thinking maybe the mashed potatoes were poisoned to kill animals. I didn't taste it. I have a 3-second rule, so I didn't touch it, but some people were worried, said Sebastian Jernagard, who found a plate of potatoes on his doorstep. Neighbors said they have not involved the police since the prank appears to be harmless. But could it be a black potato?